Hello dear ones, this is Ouassima Issrae. Hope you are doing well. I welcome you to my channel today. Just been some time ago. I was traveling and having a lot of projects going on. And I'm happy today to come and share with you all things about tarot as usual. If it's your first time, just to let you know that I am a creator of some oracle decks and books about spirituality, the medicine of roses, Lyme disease, and many other things. Check the links below. I teach also about not only tarot but more spiritual initiations, diving deep into what we came to do on earth. Now, I want to say that as I have been going through the land and exploring the Celtic heritage, but also the goddess in their different manifestations around Europe. The animals were not one of my topics of interest, I would say, in tarot. I even specify sometimes I prefer not having anything in the cards or sometimes humans because they speak to me in that. But these last months, I've been quite interested into animals and they have been talking to me in a way a little bit more than the plants kingdom. I would say like trees and plants, of course, my passion, but animals. And this one, the Peculiar Pathways Tarot, has been going and going back until I get it. And I got it and I'm exploring it. So we'll share this one, we'll share about other decks, maybe in later videos, but before I pick these cards and put them back into the box, I wanted to share with you some of the things I have been looking at in this deck. So the Peculiar Pathways I got before the Coastal Curiosities Oracle deck by the same creator, Lennox Rees, and it was really quite accurate. I traveled with it through Mongolia. I was having like just 2 decks or 3, I don't remember, but it was kind of like my friend, and that's why this one, of course, it was easier to kind of like connect with it because I'm already familiar with the author and the creator. She has an amazing book, by the way. I have it here. It's called, let's see the book just quick because it's an amazing one, called Wonders and Wanderings, Peculiar Pathway Supplement. And let me tell you, it's a really good guidebook. You can find the description, kind of like a little inspiration, history even, and here the main points that have been assimilated into the new deck from the Rider-Waite. So here you see, for example, state, peach, fig, blossoms and fruits. Are you gonna see there are a lot of plants, of course, in this deck. Lot of, like the elements are very well depicted and shown. But as I show this kind of like technique in my book, 365 Days Challenge with Tarot and Oracle Decks, I love seeing the repetitions and also what the author is bringing forward. I feel that the deck speaks to us through these elements. And you see here, when I was checking the similarities, I got all these cards about the birds. This deck isn't very interesting. The birds, they can symbolize different things, right? Communication, connection between the different realms, freedom, because they fly over all limits, but also dependence on other life forms. Birds, they depend on the insects, or what can we say about the wind turbines that constitute a big danger for them. Migrations, traveling to and adapting to the cycles of nature. They are also depicted as companions because they are everywhere. You find them even in the cities, talking about pigeons, for example, or crows and so on. They are in different, you can find them in different elements, isn't it? Water, air, and even some symbolize the fire, such as the phoenix or the eagle in some traditions. So talking about the messenger, here you can also see the bird. Talking about the messenger and their connection to higher realms, sometimes the ancestors. And so they are evolutionary. So I like to think about this deck as an evolutionary, revolutionary deck, because it's kind of like changing while respecting the tradition. It's bringing it forward, combining all these elements, all these beings together. And so birds, I believe, with their wings, bring us together. And so this does this deck. The eye, I got these 3 cards with the eye. You see it here. So here we have it in the Judgment, Injustice, and the High Priestess. And we see kind of like this, maybe the deck's message is to bring us see the highest version or things that are hidden, and maybe higher perspective hidden. What else I would say? Measuring things. I love this card because it's kind of like what is right, what is wrong, what is the right measure of our actions. Now, the fire also element, you see many decks related to fire. And let me see, what did I bring here? Yeah, well, let me see if, because before I talk about fire, yeah, it's here. Okay, I want to talk about horses because they are quite present as well in this deck, whether with the wings, you see here, the Knight of Swans, the Knight of Swords, the Chariot, the Sun, the Knights as well, putting them here, and the Six of Wands, and I think, yeah. So we have the horses, and we know that the horses symbolize also movement, evolution, going forward, the choices, the endurance, the strength to go to one's goal, but also they are messengers, they have the wings. So that contributes a little bit more to see this deck as a messenger. Now, why did I put this? Oh, the element fire, yes. So the fire element, the dragons, the serpents also are quite present. I was checking this, like you can find them in the wands for sure, because it's it's the suit. But I love that they, instead of kind of just putting them in one picture, they are quite participative in the landscape of all the cards. And you see here, like, I love the pyramids and seeing them up or down. This idea of crown and, kind of like, specifying the role. It's not put there. It's as if like it's a role we play. It's not something eternal. It's more of a representation. Dogs, was looking at the presence of dogs as well. We can see them in these 2 cards. What else did I see? I have the lion and the serpents. So, yeah, the lion here. Love this idea of wings that you will find quite a lot again. Now, let me see if I put this here. These are not, okay. So I go back to this. So yeah, not to forget to mention the presence of the insect world. We always tend to forget them as being part of, like the life cycle, participating really in our daily life, basically. Who didn't have to, you see them here, to deal with the butterflies, the flies. We have birds again. Yeah, so the insect realm, also being part of the wildlife is very significant here. And I love it that, I'm still studying like the guidebook, because I really think it's worth to read it. I don't know if we can see the description, so I'm gonna put the King of Wands. We're gonna check if the description is still there. So the insects are observant, so you can see them often in this side of the cards, but also participating. And yeah, some insects that we don't even know. Some we know and some we don't know. So let's see if she shares about, so King of Coins. Let me see here. Okay. Insect. So insect, but we don't have the name of it. So it's called, here she describes it as bringing a harmonious connection with nature and hard work. But we don't see, in order, just like opening randomly, we see here number 5, centipede, a quick moving predator with a robust balance, awareness and stability, capable of regenerating legs through molting. So really interesting. So this will be kind of, and I love this because a deck is not just, and we see the spider, other natural elements here you're gonna see. So the deck doesn't just come to guide you, but also to teach you. And you see there's so many variety through also the other decks, even if we know the serpents, the birds, the insects are kind of like major here, but we still see the plant kingdom, the flowers, and I really enjoy this. Let me see why I put this aside. Oh, the water. Yeah, water element. I loved how it was also depicting kind of like not only the, the fish, the dragon, water dragons, but also other elements that, maybe, okay, the moon, maybe it could be evident, but let's say the 8 of Cups, we see the frog, see the scorpion. So it's not that usual, I would say, to bring these animals into. So one deck, yeah, I would say like it's, I don't think it's just an animal deck. I would say it's kind of like representing the wild and participative wild, which is just combining everything. So yeah, very, 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 very great deck. Really love it. So I'm gonna stop with this video and maybe create another one for another deck, and then we will see together those I'm using for autumn. So thank you for watching. I will be back soon.